This is not exactly the kind of video that we usually do. It's certainly not the kind of video that I actually wanted to put out. And it is probably my most low rent offering, but as I caught flu and I feel like death warmed up, this is what I have. And we have to feed the remorseless social media machine, otherwise my very tiny little audience will disappear into very much nothing, in spite of the fact that there are literally hundreds of videos here. So here I am to remind you that if you want to support this channel, there are books, there are writing services, there is a Redbubble store, and you are quite free to have a look at those. There's also a newsletter, which honestly I haven't written in all year, so I really must get back to, but I'm writing a novel, so that's sort of not happening. But you can sign up to that and you get a free thing when you do. And as you may have guessed, I am actually Her Infernal Majesty without the horns and nails. So, did I want to just come on here and give you a 1-minute 30-second promo? No, that's not really worth it. I could have done that with a short. So, as I have said, I got flu, which meant that I have sat around for 2 days with a splitting headache, and I've watched every single thing that I could lay my hands on that was Peter Cook, because I'm also a writer, and will we let something as trifling as a flu and feeling like death warmed up stop us from being a writer? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Because that is the nature of being a writer. Will it stop us from putting on a costume and actually performing? Yes, because I get paid in a couple of likes, some views, and a bit of ego stroking, and none of that is worth getting up and killing myself to make a video in costume while looking like death. So there we go. Besides, I have to be well for work, where I do get paid. So, I've been watching Peter Cook, hunting it out. What survives? Bedazzled is good. Bedazzled is good. I did get all the way up to Derek and Clive, which is disgusting, but very funny. Very funny. Yellowbeard is terrible. Yellowbeard is possibly the worst thing I have seen. And actually is kind of useful to see some of the worst things you've ever seen. Because, I mean, you sort of think, oh, it's Graham Chapman and Peter Cook. That's got to be good. No, the whole thing is structured so poorly. In a way that the actual Python films, so the Holy Grail or certainly Life of Brian. Life of Brian is very well structured, but it has very different authors to it, and yes, and so it's very interesting, given that part of the reason I'm watching all of this stuff is because I am trying, while writing, to learn how to write comedy. Which possibly sounds like a fool's errand, but there you go. Why am I having to learn how to write comedy? Because I've never written comedy before. I've never written comedy before, but I didn't want to write what I used to write. And I think that's an important thing to consider, is you are allowed to outgrow what you had written in the past. And I think the other one of the other interesting ideas that just occurs to me is I think that it is assumed, especially when you look at like actors in Hollywood, that you will go from comedy to something serious because serious is important. But actually, no, comedy's hard. Get comedy right. Build a joke. Well, aside from anything, sustaining something over more than, a dry quip, which is sort of my preferred, takes quite a lot of work. And to create something that is more than just, and this is the problem with Yellowbeard, more than just a bunch of jokes strung together, but actually says something. And I would say that this is the big difference between something like The Life of Brian and Yellowbeard, is The Life of Brian has a very, very definite thing that it is talking about. All of the jokes all contribute, all those little bits contribute to the whole and therefore make that work. Watching Yellowbeard, the problem was that the parts, some of the parts were not in essence that great. It was overstuffed with people. Like, I mean, they had a brilliant cast, but it was too unfocused. Different elements didn't fit together, but also that I don't think it knew exactly what it was spoofing. I do like Eric Idle's English Captain. I did like him, and I did like Michael Horton's Doctor. But I think that might be because I like listening to Michael Horton, because Michael Horton was Badger in the Wind in the Willows that I have listened to or watched since I was about 2, 3 or 4 years old. So Michael Horton is Mr. Badger for me. But that's by the by. What else have I watched? I watched Mr. Jolly Lives Next Door, where Peter Cook plays a homicidal maniac. That's good. He manages to be both funny and menacing. Again, really disgusting. If you like Adrian Edmondson and Rick Mayall, you'll like that. It's that level of disgusting, which, yes, is something that is a taste. It's not for everybody. Not everybody is going to like that, and that's part of the whole thing. So that was good. That was good. The other thing that I quite liked, I didn't know you could find it until I went and hunted about for it. I've been hunting about for lots and lots and lots of things. One of the other things that I liked was Jonathan Miller's Alice in Wonderland, which I'll also link. It was from 1966. It has a soundtrack by Ravi Shankar, so it's got this beautiful Indian sitar soundtrack. It's very 60s, but that has a star-studded cast. Peter Cook's the Mad Hatter, which he does very well, because he doesn't have to interact really with anyone, because the Mad Hatter is mad and doesn't really acknowledge anyone's existence, which sort of allows him to, because he's not the world's greatest actor in terms of that. In terms of, you really see that he's not an actor. He is something else. So it allows him to do what he can do, and very much a different take on the Hatter, because he's a lot vaguer and he's a lot twitchier, and he is more like someone who's been poisoned with mercury is quieter than you would expect. But that one has an amazing cast. Michael Goth, Sir John Gielgud, Leo McKern. Amazing cast. Peter Sellers, Alan Bennett. That one you should watch. It takes away all the fantastical elements, as in the animal heads and things like that, but it replaces it with this extreme dream quality that makes it more both surreal, and there is a bewildering amount to it that gives you a very different view of it, a view of, adults don't know what's going on either. Adults have no freaking idea. Which is kind of a different way of looking at Alice in Wonderland, which I enjoyed, because Alice has never been really one of my favourite sorts of things. It's a bit twee, and certainly, I think a lot of adaptations struggle with the fact that the thing has no plot, really. Especially, that god-awful Disney one. The new Disney one with, Jabberwocky. Why? Anyway. So I would highly recommend that. I'll link all these things down below for you. So I've been watching that, and because I've had a splitting headache, I haven't really been reading anything light stuff when I have. So that's what I've been doing. But at the same time, because I write and because I'm in the middle of a project, do I stop? No, you're constantly whirring away, which is kind of frustrating, because that the moment you sit down to actually put pen to paper or type out something, you will feel so sick that you can't do anything. So you have to sort of just rely on, all right, well, we're storing stuff away. So, yeah, that's what I've been doing. We'll be back to regular programming next week with Janice and Angela Carter. We're doing the Infernal Desire Machine of Dr. Hoffman, which I haven't been able to read because I've had a splitting headache, so I've been watching weird stuff. So, there we go. That's what we will be doing next week, and hopefully I don't have to do this again, because this is, kind of the lowest possible, but I didn't want to leave a break in my schedule, and I hope you'll forgive me, because I genuinely feel like death warmed up. I hope you feel good this week. By the time this goes up, I should be fine. But this is the limits of possibility, and now you know, unmasked, I am actually Her Infernal Majesty. So until I see you again, or actually you won't see me, you'll see one of my Muppets. Until they turn up again, goodbye. If you would like to support this channel, come across to the Black Cockie Press website, www.blackcockiepress.com.au, where you will find books and other writing services to help with your writing.